Imagine this. You wake up on a Monday morning, grab your phone and check your bank account, and it's fine. Not great, not terrible, just fine. Your paycheck came in a few days ago. Your rent is paid. Your credit card minimum went through. Maybe you've got a few $100s left before the next paycheck. But here's the weird part. You've been working for years now. Maybe 5 years, maybe 10, maybe even 20. And yet somehow, your financial situation hasn't really changed that much. You're still budgeting carefully. You still feel nervous about big expenses. You still feel like you're one bad month away from things getting stressful. And every once in a while, you catch yourself thinking, wait, is this just how life works? Is this where I'm going to be financially forever? If you've ever had that thought, you're not alone, because most people don't realize something very important about money. There are financial levels in life, and the truth is, most people never escape the first few. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about how people build wealth and why so many stay stuck financially. If you're someone who works hard but still feels like your finances never really move forward, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're going to break down something most financial advice completely ignores: the 4 financial levels that determine your entire money life. Where you are right now, why so many people stay stuck, and more importantly, how to move up. The big problem most people don't see. Here's the thing. Most financial advice focuses on tactics. Cut expenses, budget better, invest in index funds. And look, those things are good advice, but they completely ignore the bigger picture. Because money isn't just about tactics. It's about levels, and each level has its own rules. The strategy that works at one level often doesn't work at the next. Here's what most people don't realize. About 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, according to a recent report from Lending Club. That includes people making $100,000 a year or more. So clearly the issue isn't just income. It's understanding the level you're playing at. So let's walk through them. Level 1, financial survival. This is where a lot of people start. And honestly, this level is brutal. At level 1, your entire financial life is focused on making it to the next paycheck. You're not thinking about investing. You're not thinking about retirement. You're thinking about things like, can I afford groceries this week? Can I pay this bill before the late fee hits? Can I get through the month without my car breaking down? And the problem is, this level creates a constant state of financial stress. According to the American Psychological Association, money is the #1 source of stress for Americans. And it's not hard to see why. When you're in survival mode, your brain is focused on short-term decisions. You don't have the luxury of thinking long-term. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Most people assume the way out of this level is just making more money. And look, that helps. But income alone doesn't guarantee escape, because the real enemy at level 1 is financial fragility. Let me show you what I mean. The Federal Reserve reports that around 37% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money. $400. That's a car repair, that's a medical bill. That's one bad week, and suddenly you're in debt, which makes the next month harder, which keeps you stuck. It's a vicious cycle. So the first real goal financially isn't getting rich, it's escaping financial survival mode. And that requires just one thing: margin. Even $1,000 in savings can completely change how you experience money, because suddenly, you're not one surprise away from disaster. Level 2, financial stability. Once you escape survival mode, you enter level 2, financial stability. This is where a lot of middle-class households live. Your bills are paid, you've got some savings, maybe you're contributing to retirement, but here's the catch. Your lifestyle is still completely dependent on your income. If your paycheck stops, your financial system eventually collapses. Look, this level can feel comfortable, but it's more fragile than people realize, because everything depends on one thing: your ability to keep working. Now you might be thinking, okay, Zach, but isn't that just how life works? And yeah, for a lot of people it is. But here's what most people don't realize. Financial stability is not the same thing as financial security. Let's do some quick math. Imagine someone making $80,000 a year. After taxes, maybe that's about $5,000 a month take home. Now subtract expenses: rent or mortgage, $2,000. Food, $600. Transportation, $500. Insurance, $400. Utilities, $300. Miscellaneous spending, $800. Suddenly, almost everything is gone. And yes, maybe they're saving $500 a month, but their lifestyle still relies on that paycheck, which means they're stable, but not secure. And that's the trap, because level 2 feels comfortable enough that many people stop pushing forward. Level 3, financial independence building. Now we reach the level where things start to change. Level 3 is where you begin building financial independence. This is where you start owning assets, not just earning income. Assets like investments, businesses, rental properties, retirement accounts. Here's the key difference. At this level, your money starts working for you, instead of just you working for money. This is where compounding becomes powerful. Let me show you something most people underestimate. If you invest $500 a month into the stock market and earn an average 8% return, after 30 years, you'll have around $745,000. And that's with a total investment of only $180,000. The rest, that's compounding. But here's the psychological problem. Compounding is slow at first, which makes people quit. For the first 5 to 10 years, progress feels almost invisible. Your portfolio might grow from $10,000 to $25,000, which feels small compared to the effort. But this is where it gets really interesting. After a certain point, compounding accelerates. Your money starts growing faster than you can contribute. That's when wealth creation becomes real. But you have to survive the boring middle years, and most people don't. Level 4, financial freedom. Now we reach the level most people dream about. Financial freedom. This is when your assets generate enough income to cover your lifestyle. You're no longer dependent on a paycheck. Now look, this doesn't necessarily mean yachts and private jets. It simply means choice. Choice over your time, choice over your work, choice over your life. Now here's the math behind this. A common rule in investing is the 4% rule. It suggests you can safely withdraw about 4% of your investments each year. So if your annual expenses are $60,000, you'd need about $1.5 million invested. Now that might sound huge, but remember something. Most people have 40+ years of earning potential, and small investments over time can grow dramatically. For example, invest $800 a month for 35 years at 8% returns. You end up with about $1.7 million. And that's the power of starting earlier than you think matters. Why most people never escape. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people never escape the first 2 levels. Not because they're lazy, but because of 3 powerful forces. 1. Lifestyle inflation. As income increases, spending increases. You get a raise, you upgrade your apartment, you upgrade your car, you upgrade your vacations, and suddenly you're earning more. But your financial level hasn't changed. 2. Lack of financial education. Most schools teach algebra. Very few teach how money actually works. Compounding, investing, taxes, debt strategy, which means many people enter adulthood financially blind. 3. Psychological comfort. Humans are wired for stability. Once life feels good enough, we stop pushing. And that's why millions stay stuck in level 2 forever. The 3 moves that change everything. So how do you move up? Let's simplify this. There are really 3 moves that change everything. Move 1. Increase your income ceiling. Budgeting has limits. Income growth does not. That means developing high-value skills, negotiating raises, building side income, because every wealth strategy works better with more income fuel. Move 2. Invest consistently. Not perfectly, consistently. Automate investments, index funds, retirement accounts, long-term strategy. Wealth is rarely built through one big move. It's built through thousands of small ones. Move 3. Control lifestyle growth. This is the hardest one psychologically because social comparison is powerful, but controlling lifestyle inflation creates investing power, which accelerates everything. The perspective shift. Here's what most people don't realize. The goal isn't becoming rich overnight. The goal is simply moving up one level at a time, from survival to stability to independence building to freedom. That's it. And when you zoom out, most people actually have more time than they think. The earlier you start thinking in levels instead of paychecks, the more control you gain over your financial future. Final motivation. Look, your financial situation today is not permanent. It's just a snapshot of where you are in the system. And the people who eventually build wealth aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the ones who understand the levels and keep climbing, one decision at a time. Investment at a time, 1 year at a time. If this video helped change how you think about money, make sure to subscribe to the channel.